For some reason, I woke up earlier than I usually do on a Saturday morning. I woke up at 8 instead of 10. Something was wrong. I wasn't waking up from a nightmare. I was in the middle of a nightmare. Everything I had imagined was true, and I couldn't believe it. The day before, I started my day just like any other. I went to school and to classes just like I normally do. It was a Friday, so emotions were really high across the student body about what they would do that weekend. Things seemed normal, just like any other Friday. I was in the cafeteria when my nightmare started. The principal came on the loudspeaker and said that we were going into a lockdown, and then ended by saying, "This is not a drill." My buddy JP joked, "Maybe the same guy that was shooting target practice outside his home is at it again, and that's why we're in lockdown." Was this a burglary? We wondered, but then we thought, no, probably not. I'll never forget. After the announcement over the loudspeaker came on, JP and I made our way into the culinary room, right across the hall from the cafeteria, and hid under some food preparation desks. Normally a drill would only last around 10 minutes. This drill lasted 2 hours. After 30 minutes or so, students began checking their phones. There had been a shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School, just down the street. People began panicking, and teachers began to lose sight of what their job was, to keep everyone calm, quiet, and off their phones during a lockdown. My phone was dead. I relied on others to get information about what was happening. After 2 hours, the principal came over the loudspeaker, telling us to go to our 5th period class. I remember walking through the halls, seeing the tears dripping down other students' faces, teachers, shocked, not knowing what to do, and the emptiness and evil that seemed to have drifted over to our school from down the street. I went to the lecture hall, where I'd meet my best friend Dean, to find out if his brother was alright. That's where they sent students who had siblings at Sandy Hook Elementary. Once we had called, we found out that his brother jumped out a window and ran to safety. I returned to my 5th period class. We sat there, looking at our phones, going to different websites, trying to piece together what had happened. Once I got home, my parents were at the front door to give me a huge hug. This was comforting, but then at the same time not, because it was not our normal hello. For the next 10 hours, I did nothing but watch the news, and when I wasn't doing that, I was doing nothing. To be doing nothing seemed like the right thing to be doing. I woke up the next morning, hoping to awake from this nightmare. Then I realized I woke up with an opportunity. This opportunity was to help people. I got up, went to church, stayed for 2 hours, greeting and talking to people that I knew and that I didn't know. I'm no doctor or psychologist, but having someone to talk to seemed like the best medicine. I then went to the local bagel shop to talk to my favorite woman, Eunice. The new town, she's known as the Bagel Lady. I gave her a big hug and talked to more people. I probably hit every town, store, building that might have been overpopulated that day. I wanted to talk and I wanted to help people. For the next week, I volunteered at the local youth academy. My mom is on the board there, and they asked me to help out. Turns out that a lot of people came to help. Like the news said, our town is a family. I stayed at the Newtown Youth Academy for 12 hours straight some days, playing with kids, listening to them talk, and tell stories about everything that they wanted to talk about. But most of all, to do just nothing. And that's really what we needed. I did that for 2 weeks. Whether I was able to help people or not, the tragedy changed me. It changed me from wanting to cry and become comatose in my bed, to going out and taking the advantage of an opportunity to help people. I didn't really know what I was doing right away, but waking up from that nightmare changed me for the better. It helped me help people. To do nothing in this situation, I believe, was the best thing that we, as a town, could have done. Something so unimaginable happened to our town, in our school, and at first, you don't know how to deal with it. No one does. People try to overdo things. People trying to over-fundraise, over-exaggerate what actually happened in your feelings, and to force trying to help someone is doing too much. Sometimes, when something to this great extent happens, the best thing to do is to do nothing. Not necessarily to soak it all in, but to just do nothing. Nothing that is going to overstimulate the body or mind. I realized this as soon as I got up that morning, and I've been trying to do nothing ever since.
What a fellowship, what a joy divine.